I kind of want to start with the Gonzaga UCLA game because that's what we just saw. That's what we just finished watching. I mean, I don't know what it is about these two teams, but every single time they play in March, it is an absolute banger. It is an all-time classic. It felt like we were getting, the symmetry between the Adam Morrison 06 game and it falling on the exact same day 17 years later felt almost too on the nose. And as Gonzaga takes the big lead and then they're squandering it away, it's impossible for your mind not to go there, that we've seen this story before. But we've also seen Gonzaga hit an absolutely insane shot from almost half court. Well, in the Jalen Suggs situation, or in his case, it was from half court, to steal a win from UCLA in the tournament. And in the end, that was what we got. You didn't know which story we were getting. Were we getting the repeat of the Adam Morrison, or were we getting a Jalen Suggs type ending, Jake? We got the Jalen Suggs type ending with Strother hitting. What an insane call, by the way. Like, that was obviously what Mark Few drew up in the timeout. You're down by 1. There's 12 seconds left. They were saying on the broadcast, and rightfully so, that Gonzaga didn't need to or shouldn't hold for 1. Like, this was not a situation where you hold for 1. You do want to get a shot up, so that way if you miss, you get the offensive rebound and you kind of prolong the game a little bit. So I don't think like a quick shot was shocking. That quick shot was shocking, and that he made like that was incredible. Absolutely incredible ending to the game. And I don't know what else to say. It was an all-time classic game.
I want to do an advanced analytics of this. I don't know if it's out there, but I feel like logo threes in the tournament are significantly higher than any other atmosphere. I don't know if it's the juju in the buildings. I don't know if it's the confidence or the nerves, but don't you feel like more often than not, guys are making those threes?
They're making the logo threes. Well, the logo, we should say, I guess, is big. There are big logos.
It is big, but it's way deeper than an NBA
But you're right. It is insane. Like, when he pulled up from there, and Noel,
same thing.
We'll talk about him, obviously. He was pulling up from just absurd distances. Wasn't really making a lot of them, to be honest, but he was pulling up. I agree. I don't know what it is.
Right? In the tournament, like, it's never really a bad shot. They never miss badly.
Yeah, it feels if like when Strother shot that, I didn't think it was going in per se, but like as he shot it, I was like, or I was a little surprised that they drew that up for that deep of a shot with 12 seconds left. But yeah, I didn't think like this is a horrendous shot. Oh no, what are you doing? No. I was like, oh no, here it is. Like, oh my God, they're going for 3 in the win, and not just a win. I mean, a 2 would have won it. That was stunning that they did
down
that.
By
1. I mean, I guess the thought process, if you're Mark Few, is we drive to the bucket. You kind of rely on refs, maybe if it gets physical, hope that they make a call. Then you're counting on some free throw shooting, and Gonzaga's free throw shooting down the stretch was dicey to say the least. They had ridden Drew Timme so hard to get to that point that you're thinking maybe we dump it, and all things being equal, maybe they drop a play for Timme in the end, throw it to him, maybe he just does what he's been doing the whole game. But you have to figure if you do that in this situation, Mick Cronin's going to double him and invoke some chaos defensively. So I'm sure Mark Few is just like, fuck it. Like, we're not going to let them dictate what this is. We're going to get a wide open shot. Granted, it's going to be from 35 feet away, but it's going to be wide open, and it's going to be our best guard, our best shooter. We're going to let him do it. And oh my God, Julian Strother stepped up like that was. I mean, that looked like warm-ups. Like, it looked like that's an all-time shot. And I keep saying it, but like, I don't know what it is about these two teams, man. At a certain point, it's not a coincidence anymore. It can't be. There's like something special about these two teams playing each other.
Yeah, it's unreal. And like you were saying, it really was trending to deja vu for 2006 Adam Morrison. UCLA up by 13 at the half, and then Gonzaga looked like they had the game won in the final minute.
Yeah.
And then, like, you could just, I was listening to Gus Johnson, like, in my head, UCLA comes back down from 17, Heartbreak City. Yeah. Like, it felt like the literal same thing happening, and it was trending in that direction. And if Strother doesn't hit that, it's going to be, that's the storyline of the tournament.
The difference of 06 and had UCLA pulled it off tonight is in 06, if memory serves, Gonzaga was the better team for 39 minutes and was in control of the game, and that's what made it so heartbreaking. Why Adam Morrison started crying is that he had that realization of like we had this game the whole time. Mm-hmm. Whereas in this case, UCLA at the end of the first half, I mean,
Cruise control.
I know you're supposed to have certain etiquette with gambling and all that shit, and I know you're not supposed to like get ahead of yourself, but I obviously don't really subscribe to those sorts of things. So like I'm watching UCLA run Gonzaga off the floor in the first half, and I'm mentally preparing for the UConn UCLA game and what the matchups might be, and is Adembona going to be healthy to take on UConn's big guys? And my mind just starts going that way because Gonzaga could not stop UCLA. They couldn't stop a runny nose, you know? Like they were – then this has been a problem with Gonzaga all year, and Gonzaga fans know it. And at this point, you are who you are, and you just trust that your offense is going to score enough to overcome the defensive shortcomings. But, yeah, like it felt like UCLA was fine with Drew Timme getting his – that seemed to obviously be their strategy. We're not going to double him. We're not going to free up shooters. We're just going to let Drew Timme score like an 80% clip, but we trust that they're not going to be able to stop us on the other end. We also trust that we're going to force some turnovers, and in the end, we're going to win. And at the end of the first half, that seemed to be the strategy. Like you're like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. This is going to work out for UCLA. Drew Timme might score 50, but UCLA is probably going to win the game. And then the second half, credit to Gonzaga defensively. They played much better defense. I think it was half that, but half like UCLA just being out of sorts. And I don't know if they were fatigued because they were getting up and down a little bit. And they're not super deep right now, obviously, with all the injury problems they've had. But Gonzaga wants to run. UCLA does not. And when you get caught in this pace of getting up and down, as UCLA was in the first half, I just wonder if they got tired because they were out of sorts offensively in the second half. And yes, credit to Gonzaga for shoring up some stuff defensively, but UCLA was also missing. So, I mean, we were watching the game in the gambling cave. I'm sitting next to Stephen Shea explaining to him that David Singleton does not miss. I was like, this guy 34 on UCLA, he doesn't miss. And I think, you know, again, the guys will blame me because I jinxed him or something, but I don't know if he made a shot after the rest of the game. And he had a wide open three halfway through the second half that he bricked, and Shea just looked at me and he's like, I thought he doesn't miss. And I was like, honest to God, that's like a canary in the coal mine for me. If David Singleton is missing wide open threes, it's just like something's awry with UCLA's offense. And the same sort of thing was happening where Jaquez would drive to the paint and like kind of be patient like he is. He's so good at that, where he's got like a guy, you know, on his hip, as they say, and he kind of gives a pump fake, and then they'll lean into a guy to create separation, and then he was like missing those that he's been making all year, and some of the and one opportunities he usually powers through and gets the and one, and he was missing those. And I'm watching this like, man, something's a little off with these UCLA guys. Like I don't know are they tired? What's going on? And then in the end, they like, because the basketball gods say when Gonzaga and UCLA play in March, it has to be an insane ending. And when it looked like Gonzaga was going to run away with it, they miss free throws. UCLA hits big shots, and Mari Bailey hits the one to go up. And yeah, I mean, it was just
Timmy
an
missed
insane,
both before that, right?
Both before that. Not only did he almost airballed the first one. That looked bad. Yeah, I said to the guys out there as we were watching, with 12 seconds left, and Gonzaga calls a timeout, and they draw it up for Strother. You know, you're thinking the ball's going to Timme, and I said half jokingly that I slowly talked myself into like not jokingly, they should foul him. If like Timme gets the ball in the low post, just immediately foul him and send him back to the free throw line. Mm-hmm. You're up one, because at that point you're saying, what are the better odds that we're counting on Drew Timme to miss a post move layup, which he like basically hasn't missed all night, or we count on him to miss at least one free throw, and if he, you know, maybe he misses both, but yeah, I had that thought going through my head. I was like, they should maybe foul Timme. It would be an insane thing to do, and it would be kind of shocking. But I was hoping to see maybe that, but that maybe Mark Few thought that could happen too, and was like, we're just going to take this out of their hands, and we're going to put it in Julian Strother's hands. And what a game, man! What a basketball game! How did the over not hit? By the way, it didn't hit, did it? I don't think it did. And it looked like they had 46.
155. No, it did.
Oh, it did?
Over under is 146.
Okay.
We had
there's a flurry of points late that did, like I gave up on it because UCLA had scored 46 in the first half, and then with like 6 minutes
Gonzaga
left,
scored 46 in the second.
Yeah. With like 6 minutes left, they'd scored 15 in the second half or something.
Yeah.
You see the side-by-side of that and the Chris Jenkins shot?
Was it the same spot on the court?
It's like the exact same play.
It's like the exact same.
I think this was deeper though, right?
Jenkins
is like a standard three.
Deeper, yeah.
But if it was from the logo, you would hit it because it's the tournament.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Insane.
Just an incredible game. It was one of those games that, and this happens a lot in this tournament, and it's going to happen again when UConn and Gonzaga play. And I mean, it's obviously the nature of the tournament. One team goes on, one team goes home. But one of those games you're watching, you're like, man, I can't believe this is either the last I'm going to see of Drew Timme. Maybe, I don't know. He's got eligibility left, and he says he's not going to use it. But
hey, we have Baycott back.
Yeah, who the hell knows?
Yeah.
Or Jaime Jaquez and David Singleton and Tiger Campbell. Like, this is you're watching it thinking, I can't believe like this is the last of one of these guys, and in the end, it's the last of the UCLA guys. And being an LA guy, Jake, I've fallen in love with these UCLA dudes.
You go to a lot of games?
I do. I go to one or two a year at least, and I watch them when they're on on the Pac-12 After Dark for you East Coasters. I'm locked in on Bill Walton calling UCLA. So I watch these guys like all year, and not just all year, all their whole careers, and they're so fun and so likable. But man, they chose to stop putting the ball in the basket at the worst time.
Yeah,
man, it was tough. But yeah, that's the brutal part of this tournament. But that's what makes it so awesome and makes you cherish these moments, is that you know that one of these guys is going to go home, or one of these senior groups is going to go home this is the last we'll ever see of them. And yeah, it sucks, but that's how it works, I guess.
Yeah, brutal. I mean, that game was probably considered over by the majority of the fans for both teams at some point.
Yeah, at halftime, at halftime I was already, like I said, planning like UConn, UCLA, and I was already going through the exact same thing I just said, except with UConn, UCLA, and I was like, oh my God, I love this UConn team. I love this UCLA team. I can't believe only one of them gets to go to the Final Four. That's going to be so sad to watch that game. And now I have to do it with Gonzaga UConn.